Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Tuesday, the 3rd of June 2025. So bullion, big tech and black gold boom to start June. The US dollar continues to be gloomy and stocks pair overnight weakness despite ongoing trade uncertainties and soft data. Economic news, we've got the flash CPI out for the Eurozone. This is out at 10 a.m. Again, these are forecast to be lower, which is good news, I suppose, because they want to reduce rates on Thursday. 10:15, we've got monetary policy hearings in the UK and US JOLTS opening for this afternoon at 3 p.m. And we've got 7.11 million from 7.19. We'll just have to wait and see what they come out at. So tomorrow we've got ADP. And then we go on to the non-farm payrolls on Friday. But let's have a look at this market from yesterday, which is an interesting one again, a bit choppy and sideways, but no surprise there. Right, let's kick off with the Dow and work our way through to yesterday's trades. And in the Dow, you can see that we just basically came back from Friday's move to the downside. Weakness overnight, so we're getting into a tighter sideways move, so this market will wind itself into a coil and then break out in either one or the other direction, but at the moment it's just treading water, which again is indicative of this time of year. 30-minute charts, we moved up in the pre-market, we had some selling in the cash market, which soon turned around and brought the market back. Overnight prices are sitting on the DP, which is the area where you want to see some support in order to move up and have a go at yesterday's high. In the German DAX, the same for this market yesterday, some volume coming in there. The volume is greater than the previous day, i.e. Friday of last week. The market showing a bit of weakness there overnight at the moment. And we still need to get through this all-time high of 24,395. But again, the uncertainty following the tariff postponement is obviously weighing on the markets at the moment. 30-minute charts, you can see that we started off moving to the downside. We then moved up, we then moved down. We then trod water for several hours before the US opened and we moved lower. And then move back to the 200 MA in the 30-minute chart. Market currently finding some support off the DP. You can see the green inside of the price bar there, and that side of that red one, trying to move prices back to the upside. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see the high of yesterday traded up to when we kick off later this morning. And in the S&P 500, this too stuck in a sideways range at the moment, as is the 30-minute, again showing that same pattern. We moved lower in the overnight, market tried to move higher, and then we had this slam, and then the market was brought back, and you can see there at the moment struggling a bit with the 200 MA, but coming off the DP towards yesterday's high to see whether the market's got that momentum to keep moving to the upside and maintain the sideways move that it's actually got building there at the moment. Meanwhile, in the UK, again, you can see we're stuck in a sideways move there as well. We're still not taking out the all-time high, but I suspect we'll do that before the end of the summer, as Labour's doing such a great job with the economy. And of course, that's me being facetious, because it's not a disaster, but the market doesn't see that. The market wants to move back to the all-time high. And again, same picture yesterday, down, then we came up and then down with the US. You can see the volume there, shake out everybody, then move back to the upside above the DP as well here. And again, could move back towards the high, which is the top end of the trading range, as we can see there. So all it needs is to break out of these levels here, these two pink lines. If you trade the FT100, you want to see this one taken out first, which is 8825.7, to make its way up to that 8910 there. So a gloomy day for the dollar yesterday, but overnight it's starting to come back, and that's because we're at an 89% retracement there. That's why the market's finding support. I don't even need to draw it on. I can tell you it is exactly where that is at the moment. So no surprise to see the support there. So what impact did this have on the metals yesterday? Well, let's have a look, because it was a very surprising day, particularly for me. So let's have a look at silver. So yesterday we broke out of the sideways move that we've been watching for the last at least 5 weeks, is it? 4 or 5 weeks. Market broke out of this. However, don't get your hopes up, because we traded up to the resistance to the left. There it goes further back. Just find it goes all the way back to last year, I think. Let me just bring this up. It's been a while. And there we go. So let me just put this onto the chart, and there we go. That might be the wrong one, actually. The pink line should disappear, so let me just try that again, and there we go. And then just reset the chart, and there you can see we've got this 34, as we traded up towards it yesterday, 34.85. But the market failing to close above this one. We did actually get above the 34.57, but we're now back below this. No surprise there or whatsoever. So we came close to it, 34.85. What was the high yesterday? Let's just have a look. 34.78. So 10 cents off that high there. That's got to be taken out, and already overnight you can see they've come in and slammed the price. They wanted to see, well, we need to take the heat out of this market. They brought it back. It found support at the 50 EMA, but it's got to take out yesterday's high. More of a concern for me, if we've got to be honest with you, is yesterday's high down to this low. If it fails at 34.69, then we can expect the market to make its way back down. I'm very, very surprised that this market is being allowed to move during such a quiet time, because that's when they can keep the lid on the market. Also gold moving up yesterday, but it too is starting to look like there's some selling coming into this market as well again, but not as much as we saw in the silver 30-minute chart. We just go back to that, you can see good hammering overnight there in the Asian market. When the market's quiet, it's ideal time to come in and hammer the market lower. So gold, I say, moving up yesterday as well, moving up nicely, but finding support at the DP. Let's have a look at the gold silver ratio and see what that's saying. Well, gold silver ratio moved lower yesterday, of course, is what you would expect to see with silver making such a big move. But overnight, of course, that's starting to reverse as well. We're down at 98.26 or somewhere in that region at the moment. Well, it's actually, anyway, down up towards the 98 level. But at the moment, again, fortunately, coming off the high of the overnight gold-silver ratio there, sort of sideways a bit. But it'll be interesting to see whether this holds. I remain very pessimistic about this at the moment. It will certainly have to take out, if we go back to the silver chart, it's going to have to take out the 34.85 in order to move higher. And that's a very, very crucial area indeed. Right, let's have a quick look at yesterday's trades in the German DAX 2 minutes and see what's happening overnight before we conclude. So yesterday the market moving lower there in the pre-market session, taking out Friday's low before prices found some support. You can see how the low acts like a magnet as prices try to get above this, and as soon as we opened, the market pushed straight back up to get prices back above Friday's low. And then it came back and said, no, not happy with this, let's just retest it. Huge spike in the volume there, just as we did there. Even though it's selling, the market actually came off its low to close here, so there was some buying contained within this, and then we see more buying coming in there with the green bar, and then prices moving sideways and eventually getting back above the low, albeit a temporary one as we went into the end of the session. And unfortunately the market got through the 200 MA there, came back 89%, 78%, and then the market slammed back down, giving a loss there. The market comes off the low, see how it's again sat on the low, just sitting there, and then eventually managed to move back through it. You can see there making another This is a classic. This is as well. What they do is they go short, and let me just get the right tool. And then you can see there breaks out to the downside, and then they bring it back once more. So they're desperate yesterday to bring this market back through the low, but struggled, and eventually they managed to crack it, and then it moved back down again and had another look. So once it got down there, they tried to bring it back. When they get through the high, it's quite an interesting thing because it doesn't really struggle, but trying to bring it back at the moment is very difficult, as you can see there. Again, we can see the buying coming into the market, as you see there, and then prices finding again some resistance to move higher, and then we had another losing trade followed by a winning trade, which came out just before the news, 60 odd points to make up some of those losses, but very choppy and a lot of indecision at the moment. Again, back above that low, and then you can see eventually as the Dow moved higher in the US markets, the S&P as well, prices managed to stay above that low all the way back to the DP as we went into the evening there on the electronic session. So where are we currently? Well, let's just have a quick look. We're above the DP for yesterday. How far are we away from the low and the high? Well, we're closer to the high than we are yesterday's low. Yesterday's low is currently 100, 200 points lower, and yesterday's high is just 100 points. So just looking at that, you'd expect it to have more of a chance of going through yesterday's high than actually going back down to the low, unless of course there is a major sell-off when the market opens, but we'll just have to wait and see if that happens. So all quiet on the tariff front at the moment. Like I say, you could expect the markets to again be choppy today. And as for silver and gold, well, I'd expect prices to be sideways to lower at best for those. Right, that's it for this one. Have a great day, and as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.